you're watching this video, I'm sure you have seen multiple videos by now on Shallon Lester. A majority of them shed a negative light, but today I want to dissect everything about Shallon Lester A to Z to help us better aid in our understanding of Shallon Lester and her YouTube channel. Hi, my name's Jess. I make mental health and wellness videos here on YouTube. Currently, I'm in the process of completing my degree in clinical social work and aspire to be a registered licensed counselor and therapist. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can join me on my journey. So some background before we begin to discuss Shallon Lester. There was a lot of the information that I found tend to be quite conflicting. Some web pages would state something while another web page would contradict that by stating something else. An example of this is kind of her age. I wasn't able to initially figure out how old Shallon Lester really is. The information that was the most repeated on these web pages was that Shallon Lester was born on January 23rd, 1980, making her roughly 40 years old. Any of you have better knowledge of this, please let me know in the comments down below. She worked as an editor for the United Kingdom's magazine and the New York Daily. She is a news gossip columnist, also known as a gossip writer. She's in the celebrity world and has connections to sources of certain regarding information of those celebrities. So to begin, her YouTube channel provides advice on dating. Her videos provide a lot of surmise and misinformation. One of the reasons why I think her audience is shedding a negative light towards her. Shallon Lester provides good advice. She's a strong, independent woman, and she utilizes celebrities as concrete examples to common everyday problems for individuals. One thing that I do want you guys to be aware of is Shallon Lester is not a registered mental health professional, nor is she claiming to be one. Anything that she spits out regarding mental health should always be taken with a grain of salt, being that she, again, doesn't really have much education on the topic. I hope those on public platforms creating content have good intentions when sharing any type of information, and they should be held responsible when that information is incorrect or causing unnecessary harm. The first area of improvement Shallon Lester should take into consideration is how she psychoanalyzes videos on celebrities and makes assumptions about their mental health based on her opinions of those celebrities. She tends to play a role of an internet psychologist with, again, no credentials. She's diagnosing celebrities, to name a few, but not limited to Ellen DeGeneres, Selena Gomez, and Pete Davidson. She completely discredits the diagnoses provided in a clinical setting by mental health professionals. A few of the major concerns around this are with diagnosing public figures without an in-person examination is unethical according to the Goldwater rule. If you're diagnosing someone else or yourself and you are not a mental health professional, the chances of you applying the self-fulfilling prophecy is highly likely. And lastly, her understanding of mental illness is quite inaccurate. So the American Psychological Association, they define the Goldwater effect as, and I quote, "On occasion, psychiatrists are asked for an opinion about an individual who is in the light of public attention or has been disclosed himself or herself through public media. In such circumstances, a psychiatrist may share with the public his or her expertise about psychiatric issues in general." This is the important part. However, it is unethical for a psychiatrist or mental health professional to offer a professional opinion unless he or she has conducted an in-person examination and has been granted proper authorization for such a statement. End quote. So to reiterate, what it's saying is mental health professionals and those who are diagnosing individuals who have not conducted an in-person examination and from whom they have not obtained consent to discuss mental state is considered unethical. This is due to the fact that you cannot provide an effective diagnosis based on only public media as your source. This is because public media usually isn't a very credited source and can sometimes be inaccurate and misleading. The next area I would like to discuss is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The self-fulfilling prophecy is a socio-psychological phenomenon of someone pretending or expecting something, and this is a prediction or expectation coming true since resulting behavior aligns with that belief. So an example of this would be how Shallon Lester labels Ellen DeGeneres as a psychopath. She's only going to be exposing herself to information that helps align what that expectation or belief is. Furthermore, when we self-diagnose based on information that we found on the internet, let's just say you googled generalized anxiety disorder checklist. So what happens is your subconscious actually answers those questions in a way that supports your expectations. Professionals have many ways to determine this from occurring. One of them being they randomize signs and symptoms of other mental illnesses and include things that aren't even associated with that illness being assessed. This is to help determine the self-fulfilling prophecy, because the majority of people don't really even know what self-fulfilling prophecy is. And a lot of the times, if they don't know what it is, they end up applying it into many aspects of their life. The last major area of improvement Shallon Lester should take into consideration is the lack of accurate information. So Shannon mentioned something about spindle neurons and how they impair one's process and understanding of empathy. I'm not too sure where she's getting this information from. It's also very important to cite your sources so others can follow up and read that information for themselves, especially for anything social science related, especially psychology, being that a lot of opinions and anecdotal evidence is disguised as facts backed up with science. So regardless of this, it's very important that you guys are reading accurate, peer-reviewed articles and scholarly articles, to name a few. Do not rely on gossip magazines. Someone is struggling with a mental illness diagnosed by professionals, they would be exploring the 3 methods to improving your mental well-being and your mental state, which is counseling, medication, and self-care. This again is done under supervision of professionals. Shallon Lester commented on how probiotics aided in her cure of depression. Vast majority of mental illnesses are chemical imbalances in your brain, and probiotics don't aid in that balance. No research to prove that claim, at least to my knowledge. If you guys come across any articles that are peer-reviewed and related to this topic, feel free to link them down below in the comment section. I will definitely take a look at them. The last area of improvement I would like to present is how Shallon Lester approaches individuals regarding their mental well-being and emotions. Shallon Lester commented this towards an individual who was expressing his emotions about a serious subject. I quote, "If you're not going to kill yourself, why say it?" End quote. This comment is very hypocritical because Shannon Lester admitted on a public platform via YouTube that she herself participated in self-harm, specifically where she goes on to explain how true cutters feel ashamed, so they don't show their scars, they don't talk about them as that's how she felt, which is hypocritical because no one asked her of her experience, and she brought it up on her own again on a public platform, which is the same thing the individual she commented on prior had done. So in Shallon Lester's explanation, it's okay for her to have this behavior, but when someone replicates it, that behavior is considered attention-seeking or not serious. Self-harm, like anything, is different for everybody. It has different presentations and different reasoning behind it. And then there's Evil Week. Shallon Lester is teaching us how to cheat, how to manipulate people, and to use your seduction as revenge. I feel as if Shallon Lester, simply just changed the title of her Evil Week videos to something along the lines of how to spot a cheater or how to spot a manipulator, she would receive a lot more positive feedback. At the end of the day, you never know, she may have good intentions with providing us with this information, have maybe just changed the title on the videos to how to cheat in order to gain more views. Lastly, I want to remind everyone not to send any hate towards Miss Shallon Lester. We are simply critiquing and discussing the matter. Do encourage Shallon Lester to make positive changes on her platform, which she has already started doing. My name is Jessica Rye. Stay happy and be kind.